What is going to happen to the gold price and the silver price when Janet Yellen drops a bomb? We're talking about 100% potential gains in the silver price and the gold price. It may not seem real, it may not seem possible, but I'm telling you, it's a real possibility, right? We've got other bombshells going off right now. We're going to talk about Costco. I've never been in a Costco. There's a couple by my house. I don't know why. I know it's cheap and I'm a cheap guy, but I've never been in Costco. But they dropped a bombshell. Macy's dropped a bombshell. What about these unemployment numbers? We're going to touch on those as well, right? That's a very interesting subject that we'll need to consider. All of these will impact the price of gold, will impact the price of silver as we move into the coming months, quarters, and years. I'm calling for $2,200 gold by the end of June. What do you think if we have $2,200 gold at the end of June, 4 short weeks from today? Where do you think 4 short weeks from today, right now, when we have at least $2,200 gold, where do you think the silver price will be? Right? I'm curious your thoughts on that matter. Now, the big story, right? The big story, the debt ceiling. It got resolved. That was not good for the price short term of gold and silver. But the debt ceiling, the debt limit, it got resolved. We're hearing things like we can breathe a sigh of relief. Oh, we can celebrate. We can rest easy now because it was going to be a catastrophe. When the reality is, right, the real catastrophe is the fact that we've got so much debt. Actually, instead of a sigh of relief, it should have been a gasp of horror. And I'm telling you guys, we're going to look at something. This is not that complicated. And it has to do with this person right here, right? She's going to drop a bomb on the markets, but also it's going to have a major impact on the silver price and gold price. Because here's what's going on. The government is out of money, okay? The government has spent all their money. Remember, they were going to run out of money on June 5th. What's today? June 3rd. They had 2 days. They got 2 days worth of money left. They got to raise a ton of money. Where do you think that money's going to come from? This is not that complicated, okay? The government is broke. They need to borrow money. They're going to sell treasuries onto the market, and not just a little bit. We're talking trillions of dollars of new treasuries. I'm hearing all kinds of numbers, 1.5 trillion, 2 trillion. Nonetheless, you got it. You got to realize this. There's so much going on in the world right now. The darn world doesn't want our treasuries. China doesn't want to buy our treasuries, right? They used to buy them because we bought so much crap from them. So they'd use that money that they got selling us the plastic crap, although their products are getting to be better quality. Nonetheless, when we bought all that crap from them, they had all these dollars and they would use, thank you for the super chat. Wow, Kevin, that's awesome. Not expected, but always very, very greatly appreciated. But China would get all these dollars from selling us all that crap, and they would buy treasuries, okay? They're not buying treasuries. Nobody's buying our treasuries, not like they were. That money is going to have to come from people in the U.S. economy. That is going to suck. They call that liquidity, the fancy economist. That's going to suck a lot of money out of the economy. And guys, this is where it gets super interesting for gold and silver. Because you know what? If the American economy can't absorb, on the best case scenario, American economy can absorb, can help the government, raise all this money, buy all that debt. If they can't, right, what happens is bond prices crash. Okay, that means interest rates go up. When bond prices go down, that means interest rates are going up. Can the banks survive in that environment? No. We know the three of the four largest bank failures in history were just in the last number of months. That will crush banks. That will crush the economy. All that liquidity coming out, all that money, all that cash coming out of the economy, going to the government, right? So there's two implications right there. But where it gets super interesting is if the Treasury can't sell them, guess who's going to have to step in, right? Because remember, you guys want to see Janet one more time? Janet, okay, she's going to drop that big bomb on the U.S. economy, and there's the bomb. Oh, no, there's the roach. Oh, there's the bomb. Oh, Janet, don't do that to the U.S. economy. Come on. Woo! Horrible, right? That's what it's going to be, a big turd right in the face of the U.S. economy. Don't you for a second say that I don't get prepared for these live streams, you know. Not everybody has a rubber turd sitting around. Nonetheless, it's going to kill the U.S. economy. Then the Fed has to come in and do what's called yield curve control. The Fed, right? This guy, let's get him out too. What the heck? Here, him. The original man in the box. Hey, everybody, don't worry, Janet, I'll save the day. I'll just turn on my unicorn. Here, what's in there with him? Oh, Jerome's got a unicorn fart dust machine. He'll print money out of nowhere, magic money, right? Magic money to save the day. That's what Japan is doing. That's what they're going to have to do as well. Because when interest rates start to spike, because nobody's buying the treasuries, the Fed's going to have to step in, okay, and print money. And when they print money, what does that mean? The dollar goes down, the price of gold and silver skyrocket. If you don't agree with that, tell me in the chat, okay? But I know it to be an absolute fact. This has been going on for 5,000 years in the world. This is not the first time this has happened, right? Where countries, thousands of years, run into trouble, dilute their currency. Instead of making hard decisions, they just dilute it more. I mean, what did they just do, right? The debt ceiling? Are you kidding me? Right? Oh, it's this big celebration. I'm sorry. I'm mad, right? I pay my bills. I stay out of debt. Why can't our quote unquote leaders do that, right? Yeah, it should be a gasp of freaking horror. In 99, you guys know, right? Do you feel like you know? Do you feel like you understand the big picture of what's going on? It's what's called an untenable situation. Maybe they'll kick the can. They kicked it a little bit, right? You've heard that said. But that can, it's like getting to be a 5-gallon bucket, and it's starting to be full of concrete. It's getting more painful to kick, and it's not quite moving as far down the road. Things are happening faster. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that there's something wrong out there? Have you noticed that people are on edge? Have you noticed that things just don't seem right? I mean, I don't want to be a paranoid conspiracy theorist or anything like that. I want to be a realist. And I just get the feeling people are under a lot of damn stress. Do you feel like you're under a lot of stress? Does the world feel more stressful to you? Right? It doesn't have to be this way, but it is what it is. Do you feel more stressed? Right? Not maybe just financially. People are on edge, road rage things, I mean, people are going nutso on airplanes. I mean, it feels a little crazy. I don't know, huh? I mean, is it good out there? Maybe people are stressed because now everything's catching up. Americans have gone through their savings. Congratulations, America. Americans have racked up a record amount of credit card debt, right? You're not alone if you've got credit card debt. I don't have any credit card debt. I don't like credit card debt, but you're not alone if you have it, because the average American has $5,000 of credit card debt. And what are we hearing now? Costco, right? Bombshell. Costco talks about sales slowing down. Costco, do you like chicken? I hope you do, because apparently you're eating more of it. I prefer steak. I like ribeye. I like T-bone. I like Kansas City strip, or whatever they call it. Anyway, nonetheless, you don't care about what I like to eat or don't eat. You care about what you like to eat or don't eat. Tell me, do you like steak or chicken? I hope you like chicken. Because you know what? Apparently you're eating a lot more of it. You know why? And it's not because you're a big chicken. No. The Costco executive team said people are moving down. What's the word I'm looking for? Moving, shifting, because they can't afford steak or beef. Now they're buying more and more pork and chicken. I like pork and chicken. I like steak too. But, the reality is people are running out of money. Everything is costs so much more. Even though we're in the middle of Joe Biden's economic miracle, right? The strongest economy, whatever, BS, okay? Look at the jobs number last week. I mean, 300,000 new jobs. I don't know who they're counting. Ghosts? I don't know. I mean, are they? I don't get it. Right? Are they counting people that are taking second and third jobs? Yes. Are people taking second and third jobs just to make ends meet? Yes. All this is coming together. Let's talk about silver and gold. All this, right? A slowing economy, right? This treasury bomb that is going to go off. And thank you again for that super chat. That is much appreciated, my friend. The bomb that is going to go off when the treasury sucks all the money out of the U.S. economy at the same time when the Federal Reserve is tightening monetary policy. Don't forget, June 14th, that's the biggest day of the year for you. June 14th is the biggest day. If you own silver or gold, if you love it and you're here, right, you're part of Ron's basement. We are the gold and silver enthusiasts. When you're in the basement with me, you're a basement man or a basement woman. Welcome. You are welcome here, right? We love to talk about digging the dirt, right? We aren't afraid to dig in the dirt, and we love to talk about silver and gold and precious metal mining stocks. That's what we do, huh? June 14th. That's the biggest day of the year for you. We're going to have a live stream that day, and it's going to be a party or a funeral, depending on how it goes. I'm believing it's going to be a big, big party. It could be a funeral. Don't make any financial decisions based upon anything that I say. But, and we're almost to 100 thumbs up. I'll bring the bell for you 10 times when I get to 100 thumbs up. And yes, gosh, you guys were really upset when I moved Schmitty back there. See that? Because I had to play ping pong with my daughter. Smitty, the silver bear, is right there. 85. Hey! 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When we get to 100 thumbs up, I always, hello, Snakebite, thank you. That's an awesome super chat. Wow. I'm lucky. Bud Light is water. Yeah, what do you guys think about the whole Bud Light situation? Huh? What do you think? I'm from St. Louis. Anheuser-Busch was started here. I can tell you, because I went to high school with the sons of a number of the executives, right? Even the president for a while, the company, his son, I played soccer with him in high school. That is the most hardcore conservative company you would ever find. So what's going on there? They sold out the InBev, but the whole Bud Light thing, I know the Bush family is rolling over right now. I don't know. I probably shouldn't go down that road, so I won't go down that road. Yeah, Costco. I went to a Kohl's the other day. Have you been to a Kohl's lately? It looks like a ghost town. Home Depot, totally missed on their sales. So we got gold and silver sitting over there, a slowing economy. We got Janet getting ready to drop a bomb, right? A deuce on the U.S. For those of you who just showed up, that's Janet. And there's a cockroach in there, but there's also a big turd. See that? You want to look closer? Yeah. Because that's what she's going to drop on the U.S. economy. It almost seems like this is planned. I don't want to be a big conspiracy theorist, but as we have a slowing economy, a tightening Fed, and now this, it's going to be ugly, guys. Maybe they are planning on something big. Do you think they're engineering something big? for this summer. Does that thought ever cross your mind? Does it feel funny? It feels funny to me right now. Does it feel funny to you out there? When I say funny, I don't mean funny in a good way. I mean funny as in not good. And we want to be prepared. You want to have precious metals, right? For me, some silver, right? For you, maybe gold, whatever floats your boat. Just be prepared. Be prepared for anything that might be coming down the pike. Uh-oh. Why is my mic? Oh, no. Hey, wait. Hey, can you guys hear me better now? I didn't have the mic plugged in. June 14th is the biggest day of the year for you, gold and silver investors, right? Because that's when the hens come home to roost. That's when the pendulum officially starts to swing back the other way. Yeah, I was talking to Peter Grandich the other day. I was listening to a talk he did with Michael Gentile, right? Who's one of the smartest guys in the precious metals sector. I was talking to Mark Hilton. He's the CEO of Alpine Gold Exchange. They're the UPMA people, okay? They all say the same thing, similar thing. We've been in an environment where gold and silver have done very well over the last 2 or 3 years. When you consider the headwinds they've been facing, the strong dollar, right? The tightening Fed, all of that, and I mean all of that is about to change. Who gave me that? Snakebite, thank you for the super chat. That is really appreciated. Not expected. You're a good man. I appreciate it. And thank you. And I think you're in St. Louis with me. Okay. So that's, I wonder if Ron's stoned. No, Ron is not stoned. Ron doesn't smoke weed. I don't even drink alcohol. I used to. That's a story for a different day. I don't even drink, okay? I'm on nicotine and caffeine, okay? I do smoke an electric cigarette, but I don't do it on screen out of respect for you. As a matter of fact, hold on one second. I got to go get my note because we need to talk about this major June 14th. When I'm gone, don't listen. If that bear talks, don't listen. Say something to the bear. I'll be right back. I'm coming right back. Hey guys, it's the bear. Do you think I should take Smitty's $85 blindfold off? All right, I'm back. I hope that bear didn't say anything. When I was gone, the unicorn moved. Yeah, crap gets moved around here because I've got kids, and the kids move my crap. Do you have kids, guys? Tell me in the chat. Tell me how many kids you have. Huh? What kind of an electric cig do I use, Echo Leaf? Well, this is not an e-cig show, but I've used the same one forever. It's a T22 Pro by Enduro by Anakin. That's what I use. I make my own juice, too. That's a story for a different day also. June 14th is the biggest day of the year for gold and silver investors. We aren't on that day going to see 100% gains in gold and silver. But I'm telling you, by the end of the year, just when everybody stopped talking about $3,000 gold, we could see $3,000 gold by the end of the year. Now, by the end of June, we're going to see $2,200 gold. Just my prediction. Don't make any financial decisions based upon anything that I say. And I'm curious. Joseph's got a daughter who's 52. She's a year younger than me. 37 kids. We were just at my Susie's brother's house. He's the nicest guy. one of my great friends, and he has 5 kids. I have 2, and wow, I don't know how they do it with 5. Wonderful parents, though, but 5 kids, they're all getting older. Where was I going? You guys screwed me up, making me laugh. Ron's going to be painted red soon. Yes, if we don't get the $2,200 gold by the end of June, I'm going to, on live stream, have my hair painted red, completely red, the whole can, my head and face. So and the red shirt, I will be completely red. Right? I'll eat crow. I'm wrong sometimes. Oftentimes. What was I going to tell you guys? I had a funny story I wanted to tell you. I got pulled over coming home. We were at Susie's brother's house for a graduation party, and I wanted to test out. I put a new power steering pump in my Acura. Yes, I did it myself, but it spilled all over the alternator, and then I put new belts in, a new tensioner, and things have been smoking, and I think it's okay now, but I thought I'm really going to drive fast and test it. So I was driving down Highway 40 here in St. Louis, right through the real rich part of town. There's some rich parts of St. Louis, I'm telling you. Whew. I don't live in the real rich part. But anyway, I got pulled over going, he said 88 miles per hour and I think a 65. And he said, "Why are you driving so fast?" And I said, "I have to get home and do a live stream for my YouTube channel." And the cop laughed and let me go. So thank you. You saved me from a ticket, my friend. Mr. Ron's neighborhood. Yeah, boy. Yes, I did get back in time. Thank you for your concern. I don't usually speed, but I wanted to drive real fast to, hey, Tyler, wow. Thank you. Janet Yellen is the devil. Thank you for the super chat. Yes. Looking forward to red hair. No, we don't want the red hair. We want gold. But I know. I'll do it. That'll be the constipation. Is it a constipation prize? That'll be the constipation prize if I don't get to the $2,200 level for gold by the end of June. And I'm going to be dead wrong, okay? The constipation prize will be that I'll paint myself and everything red. Everything. Nothing below the waist, dirty-minded people, you. Oh, June 14th is going to be a big party. Let's just real quickly touch on another component, a very important component of the silver and gold area, and that's the mining stocks. Do you know how cheap the mining stocks are right now? I heard Michael Gentili, he was talking with Peter Grandich. I heard him say this, and we all kind of know this, but he put it so clearly. He's like, the price of gold is too cheap. We know that, right, guys? Gold is too cheap, okay? The price of the gold mining stocks, the big ones, the Newmonts, relative to gold is like at an all-time low. Meaning like the ratios, right? Relative, historically, all-time low. The price of the junior, the mid-tier mining companies relative to those big major companies, all-time spread difference, low. And then you go down from the mid-sized companies to the single producers, again, record spread, low. Then you go down to the developers, record spread low. Then you go down to the explorers, right? Like companies like Brixton Metals that I own, not sponsored by them, but these stocks have been obliterated. They are such a great value, like what you get when you put $1 into, especially a junior mining stock right now. It is downright crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. Hey, before I forget, we have a goal to get to 28,000 subscribers by the end of June. A lot of you are already subscribed, but if you're not, please subscribe to the channel. And if you give this a thumbs up, right? If we get to 200, I'll do the nose thing when I ring the bell with my nose. I'm not too proud to do that. I'm happy to do it. But we got to get to 200 thumbs up. Sorry. So I'm going to tell you about June 14th. Don't worry. But first, I was talking to Buddy Rumble, the Louisiana gold guru, earlier in the week. And man, I just got to repeat this. If you haven't heard this yet, We always talk about, we know, right? Gold has been valuable for 5,000 years. Thank you, Tyler Jordan. Wow, screw politics. Franco-Nevada. They're a royalty company, right? Yeah, good company. Pierre Lassonde, by the way, Tyler, who I think started Franco-Nevada, has a great interview on King World News. You might want to check that out. Now, Buddy Rumble. We know gold and silver have been valuable for thousands of years. We know they've been valuable universally. That means everywhere. Think about that, right? But he brought up a good point. They're also not political. And I was like, I've never really thought about that before. Never thought about that. And right now, that's critically important. Look at the political divide in the United States. But look at the geopolitical issues in the world. Gold is immune to all that. It doesn't care. It maintains its value. And I'd never really thought about that. Had you thought about that? Tell me in the chat. Please. All right, guys. Now is the time. Any questions? Give them to me. Anything you want me to talk about, anything you might want an opinion on. This is your chance. Don't worry. Don't be afraid. Ask a question. Please. I'm ready. I smell Ponzi in America. Absolutely, Tyler. The whole system. And that's what people like Vladimir Putin and President Xi. Oh, I got something good for you guys. Oh, I didn't even talk about June 14th. Anyway. Yes, the BRICS countries are saying, hey, America, you're kind of like a Ponzi scheme. Mark, one of our viewers, sent me a great video. Apparently there was a big BRICS summit, not the big one, but a big one just recently. And there were all these ministers, finance ministers, and they're all publicly, explicitly saying, we want to get away from the dollar. So yes, it is, rigged nation. Hey, Jim Tillapow. Hey, thank you, Coin Shop Chris. Guys, do me a favor. You know what? We love each other here. We can say that, or we really like each other. But Coin Shop Chris does a tremendous amount to help support this channel and help support the live streams. Could you please say thank you to Mr. Coin Shop Chris? Hey, Susie's here. Hello, Susie. Susie's over taking care of her mother. That's my wife, Susie. Susie's house. Oh boy, now I need to be on my best behavior. When I ring that bell, Susie's supposed to run down here and bring me coffee, which has never happened. And I'm not going to happen today because she's not here. Hey, thank you, Coin Shop Chris. Hi, Annie, says Susie. Hello, James. Hello, Daniel. Yay, Annie Sharon Johnson. Thank you, Chris. Are you buying silver dollars? Yes. Well, no, I'm not buying anything right now. I haven't bought any silver for, 2 months. But I do have some cool Morgan silver dollars upstairs. I was just playing with them today. What exactly would happen if they quit trading oil with dollars? Oh, Chuck. Whew, I'm sweating. That's a great question. Let me get my notes. I'll be right back. Hey, Tyler, GDXJ is very cheap. No doubt about it. Why don't you guys say something to that bear? I think he's smiling at you. All right, here I come. I'm back. All right, this could be explosive for the price of gold. Okay? And I made another video about this, but this is so key to understand. And I'm going to thank you again, Tyler, for the super chat. I'm going to make it real simple. Okay? There is a yes, James, the miners could go lower. No doubt about it. Could. Okay, but man, they're a good value right now. Let me stay on track. This is potentially explosive. Think about the fact that all the BRICS countries, They love gold and silver. They're going to start their own gold and silver exchanges, right? Moscow World Standard. China has the Shanghai Exchange. They just aren't doing that, but they value gold and silver much differently than we do. Okay, now also we know that Saudi Arabia is sick of the United States. We know that those countries, the BRICS and all the other countries that are joining power with them, control a majority of the world's oil. We know they want to get off the petrodollar. What if, and tomorrow we're going to get a big announcement from OPEC, and I'll talk about that in a second. But right now, a gram of gold is worth $60, $65. So imagine I have a gram of gold. Over here, I have a barrel of oil, $65, right? About the same, in balance. All that OPEC would have to do, and Russia as well, and Zoltan Pulsar from Credit Suisse was the first to propose this, back probably almost a year ago. But a gram of gold, $65, a barrel of oil, okay, $65. If they were to announce that we are repricing oil in gold, and now you get 2 barrels of oil, right? I don't have a little bitty teddy bear in my hand. I have 2 barrels of oil right here, but still 1 gram. Okay, which is what there's an imbalance in dollars at this point, because for a $60 gram of gold, you get $120 worth of oil. Okay, what do you think would happen? Either oil would have to drop, right? Or gold would have to go up. And the answer to the question is this: gold would shoot up immediately. There might be a small decrease in the price of oil. And the reason why is that the oil market is 10 times bigger. Yes, you heard that right. 10 times bigger. The oil market is the biggest market in the world, as far as I know. The oil is the lifeblood of the world economy. So if they were to reprice it and suddenly you get 2 barrels of oil for 1 gram of gold, the gold, right, speculators would run in. It's called arbitrage, right? And there'd be an imbalance where people could profit and say, I'm buying all the gold I can because I can get twice as much value oil, until it equaled out. And it would equal out at a much higher oil price. And it's not, Zoltan Pulsar is an analyst with Credit Suisse, okay? This isn't like some crackpot sitting in his basement in St. Louis who's saying this. That was Zoltan Pulsar. And then most recently, a guy by the name of Martin, hold on a minute. Here. Martin Verheyen, he's a Dutch analyst. He proposed the same thing. And what makes it super interesting, right? Number one, you got to remember those countries love gold. They love gold in the Middle East. They love it, right? Right? It was, anyway. Yeah, I don't want to get too political. Anyway, they love gold. Big OPEC meeting going on right now in Vienna, Austria. That's where OPEC is headquartered. For the first time in 23 years, closed door meeting, okay? Okay? Yeah, Tyler, I'll talk about that. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Thank you. Closed door meeting of OPEC, right? And the Saudi oil minister said, you better not be short oil. He telegraphed that there was some big news coming. It's going to come out tomorrow, Sunday. Be waiting for it. You know, because it's Saturday night and you're with me here in the basement. You know what? I'm the lucky one. Thank you for joining me and the 2 stuffed bears. But closed door meeting. Oh, and the other crazy thing they've never done before. They banned journalists from the Wall Street Journal, Reuters, and Bloomberg. Okay? I don't know. To me, it's interesting. Old story. Gold is trash. All right, NC Purdy, 68. We'll see. We will see. We will see. Hold on a minute here. I got to get back to this question. As his wife, I'm really sick of the red shirt. Chris, could you ban Susie from the channel? Just kidding. I love Susie. I want to I've recognized Chris. I also want you guys to know my wife, Susie. Number one, she is a great wife. We're like any couple. We aren't perfect. I think she'd be the first to admit that, but we're perfectly imperfect, and I'm very lucky to have her, and she does a great deal of help and assistance. She edits a lot of the videos. She does a great job. She helps moderate. She answers some questions, and she's been a great wife to me since we got married in 2004. Hell, I don't know what it is. 19 years now. I love you, Susie, even though you're not here right now. Thank you. So, guys, if you ever get a chance, please tell Susie thank you. What was I going to tell you about? Oh, yeah. So, look, am I saying this is going to happen with the oil getting repriced in gold? No, I'm not. I don't think it's like, oh, this is going to happen, guys. It's a sure thing. But when you look at all the moving parts, and when you consider that gold's been used in commerce for a few thousand years, right? It's plausible, not probable, plausible that we could see that. And if they reprice oil in gold, or is it gold and oil? No, it'd be oil and gold. We could have some explosive, Taco Bell after effect type move in the price of gold. So June 14th, a Wednesday, we're going to have a live stream, and that's the day that here, this guy. You remember this little boy? Yeah, little scared Jerome. He's in his box with his unicorn. Yeah, his little stuffed unicorn. I got to send that unicorn to Sam. I've been bad about that. But anyway, they're going to announce their interest rate policy. It's going to be super interesting. I'm saying pause, okay? And remind me, I want you to talk about oil stocks. Oil stocks. I got to write that down. I can't remember Jack Diddley twat anymore. June 14th, the Fed's going to pause their interest rate hikes, okay? They are. I could be wrong. Could be. But I think I'm right. And when that happens, that is green light, right? Right now, we're kind of in yellow light territory for gold and silver. Does that make sense? Man, it just came to me. Do you agree with me that when it comes to the overall sentiment, the overall feeling regarding gold and silver, excuse me, that we're in yellow light territory right now? As a matter of fact, this is what I'm going to ask you to do in the chat. Tell me, are we in yellow light territory, red light territory for gold and silver, or green light? I think we're in yellow light. But on June 14th, because Jerome's shaking in his boots. Think about what we talked about earlier, old Stinky. Oh boy, I hope Susie doesn't see this. She's going to get mad. Old Yellen, right? Right? She's going to drop a turd on the economy to put some toilet paper in there. I have a whole roll of toilet paper I keep down in my basement with me. I'll tell you about that some other time. I have an actual toilet paper dispenser on my desk. Anyway, right? She's going to be dropping a deuce on the U.S. economy, right? Just as Jeremy and his friends in 2 weeks, 10 days now, are going to be announcing their interest rate. And that is the biggest. We don't like it. We know it's a bunch of BS, right? But that's got more sway over the price of gold and silver as measured in U.S. dollars, even though we're not supposed to think about it that way, but we all still do because we're brainwashed, than anything else. Right. So on June 14th, Jerome's going to be up a creek without a paddle. He's going to know what's happening. They're going to pause. The dollar's going to drop. The light for gold and silver is going to turn from yellow, not to red, but to green. And we're going to be happy happy, happy. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be interesting. Oil stocks. Tyler, yes. I'm looking at him. I got my good friend Rick in North Carolina. He's the guru. He knows oil stocks. I was going to talk to him to see what he thought was good in the oil sector right now. Because oil stocks are cheap. And if you think that oil's not going to go a heck of a lot higher, measured in US dollars, I think you're mistaken. So if you run into what you think, or if you remind me, I can ask Rick and Tyler. Tyler, send me an email. My email address is in the description of all the videos. And that goes true for any of you guys. Anyone who's ever sent me an email gets a response. If you haven't, you can say it right now in the chat. Hey, thank you, Susie. Look at that, Susie. Everybody appreciates you. All right, Fang stock. Okay. So, yes, oil is good, right? Oil's like gold. It's a real asset. Oil is good. I don't know about real estate. I'm not real keen on real estate, residential or commercial right now. I wouldn't be buying a new house unless I had to. I don't know how Susie feels about that, but I wouldn't be buying a new house unless I had to. I guess you could always refinance it at a lower rate in the future, but I would be staying away from real estate right now. Yes, I will email you back. Stack oil. You bring up a good point. C-130. It's interesting you say that. When I was talking with Mark Hilton, the CEO of Alpine Gold. That interview will be coming out, and they do all the work for the UPMA, the not-for-profit place where you can store all your gold and silver. And I'm going to talk about your pastime aquaponics, your comment there as well. He brought up a great point. He said, yeah, we like real estate. I mean, they're a gold company. You can vault your gold and silver with them, all that good stuff. Use it, put it on a debit card, whatever. It's great. It really is. I mean, I really like that company. But that's not the point. The point was we were talking about the value of gold and silver. And he was like, yeah, we also like real estate. Because there's this big Gallup poll result that came out. I don't know if you saw that, but Americans now rate gold as the second safest investment class, right? It overtook stocks. It overtook bonds. It overtook savings accounts. The only thing that was rated as safer by Americans was real estate. And like compared to last year, just in 1 year, like 26% of people voted for gold this year. Last year, it was only 15%. But Mark Hilton had something I thought was really great to say. He's like, but real estate's not portable. I'm like, yeah, it's not like you can take your 100 acres of farmland and put it in your pocket and take it with you if things get really bad. So gold is good. He also had a great story about how to think about the price of gold. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it had to do with a lighthouse and being in a boat and looking at the lighthouse. And I thought it was just a great, great, great story. The video will come out on Monday. You can check that out. And tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, guys, there's a new video coming out, an interview I did with the one and only Coin Shop Chris. And buddy, we hit all the buttons. You're going to want to listen to that one. Absolutely. 240 thumbs up. Oh, yes. Thank you. Somebody had a comment. I'm going to read some comments. Hold on here and get to some of these. Ron, more borrowing means more liquidity in the systems. Treasuries are bought by banks, so banks owe money to the Treasury, and the Treasury uses the IOUs to pay the bills. Well, I appreciate your input, Pastime Aquaponics, but my understanding and the understanding that I'm hearing from some really like the top analysts out there is that this Treasury borrowing is actually on net going to suck a large amount of liquidity out of the system. We can agree to disagree, and you could definitely be wrong. Unicorns are the deadliest of animals. Silver formula. How close are we to more banks going bust? Does that affect commodities? Daryl, that's the $1,000,000 question. How close are we to more banks going bust? Well, we're probably a lot closer than we realize. I mean, think about it. 3 of the 4 largest banks in U.S. history went belly up. You can't, and we know it's also a fact that there are thousands of other banks that are in the same general situation. Maybe I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but it'd be like if you had a pond in your backyard and let's say you stocked it with 100 largemouth bass, right? And suddenly you noticed all the bass starting to act funny, and you walked out on Sunday morning and 3 of them were floating dead on top of the pond. You'd probably think, boy, there might be a problem with the other 97 fish in the pond as well, because they're acting a little funny. I mean, there's stress in the banking system. And you know, at the end of the day, what caused it is that the fact that the banks invested their depositors' money into bonds, and the price of the bonds has crashed, basically. Now, if when Yellen takes her dump on the economy, when she sucks all that liquidity in, that can make interest rates go even higher, especially if nobody's buying these bonds, right? And that would put even more acute stress. And I'm hearing the smartest guys, right, in the room talk about this, put more stress on these banks. So we could see more banks going belly up. You know, really, they don't. The problem is they don't. They put the investments into an account called held to maturity. So look, guys, I worked for a Big 4 accounting firm. I understand accounting. I understand how these games work. It's Disneyland accounting. Disneyland, right? Hold on. Here, look. Here's a beautiful 1-ounce silver round. I got that from Coin Shop Chris. Isn't that pretty? Look, it's like a mirror. The most reflective metal on the face of the earth. Ooh, I dropped it on the red cover. I didn't hurt it. I'm very careful with it. That's real money, right? And all the other stuff, you know, is a bunch of bunk. So these banks, they bought all these bonds. Let's say you put $10 million into the bank, right? Ron's bank. I'm Ron. I'm Ron's bank. You give me $10 million. I'm like, I'm gonna pay you 1% interest on your savings account. You're $10 million. You're like, well, thanks, Ronnie. You're a good guy. Well, what is Ron's bank? And this is Silicon Valley Bank. This is any bank, anywhere. They take your $10 million, right? I take your $10 million, and it was. This happened, 14 months ago when interest rates were 0% and a 30-year or a 10-year bond was yielding, a quarter of what it is now. I bought a bunch of government bonds saying, well, I'm going to pay you 1%. And I'm going to make 2% off your money. So I'm going to make 1% profit per year. Well, then when old stinker pot here raised rates at a record pace last year, the value of the bonds crash. It's an inverse relationship between bond prices and interest rates. So now suddenly, right, you gave me your 10 million, I invested in these bonds, and if I want to sell those bonds right now, if you want all your money back, they're only worth 8 million. Okay? So I'm praying, please God, please don't let my Ron's Basement viewer who gave me $10 million, don't let him come back and ask for his money back, right? Right? Because if you do, I don't have it. And that's exactly what happened to Silicon Valley Bank. That's exactly what happened to whatever other ones went broke. I forget their damn names. They don't have the money. They don't have the money. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. I can't slurp or burp anymore on my live streams. Whoa, no! I just moved you. Whoa! You guys want to go for a tour of the basement sometime? Oh my God. Oh boy, things are falling apart. Sorry about that, guys. So I was thinking earlier, I want your help. Krugerrands. I love Krugerrands. You guys know what a Krugerrand is? Here, I'll show you. I love Krugerrands too. Look at that. Man, it's a beautiful coin. Oh, look at this one. Here, I'll show you 2 silver coins. Beautiful silver coins. There's nothing like silver. And then we're going to talk about silver. Get your thinking cap on. All right? If you guys, at some time, I don't want to do it today, but one night on a Saturday night, I'll take you for a grand tour of the basement. Here's a Krugerrand. South African. Isn't it beautiful? God, I love silver. Do you love silver? I'm going to ask you some questions. Look at that. There's nothing like holding it. Whatever that thing is, a jackalope? It doesn't really focus, does it? Look at this. Coin Shop Chris got this for Susie for her birthday. Isn't that nice? Susie loves cats. If the cats liked me, they would come down and join me on the live stream. Let me know. Do you guys want me to go get one of the cats? I don't know. I don't know what you guys want or don't want. What I want to talk about, can you stack oil 10 barrels high? No, but you know those shipping containers? You can stack those 4 high. I learned that the other day. Here in Canada, stay away from real estate. Yeah, I've heard real estate's nasty. Silver will bounce. Box spring antelope. Not a jackalope. Not a jackalope. Fast landing. Hello, Jim Tillypaw. Hello, Creek Runner. Hello, Robert Watkins. It's Rand Paul Kruger is on the front. Oh, interesting. I'll have to read about that. My great-grandpa was from South Africa. He fought in a war called the Boer Wars, which was fought over gold. I have gold in my blood. My great-grandfather fought for the Boers. He was a Boer, a Dutch Boer in the Boer Wars. And anyway, he came to St. Louis for the World's Fair and fell in love. Isn't that a sweet story? He met my grandma. 1904 World's Fair, my great-grandma. And they made my grandma. Okay, let's get back to this. I got some questions for you. Hello, Fakwaman, Springbok, Buck Spring, yes. LOL, hello, Chris. Creek Runner, hello. Okay, so I was thinking about silver. We know silver, right? It's very difficult to find. There's no new mines, really. Very few mines coming on board. We know that, right? We know that. We know that's the fact, Jack. It's rare. It comes out of the ground. 7 ounces of silver for every 1 ounce of gold. And of that 7 ounces, a lot of it gets consumed. Isn't that interesting? But it's 80 to 1. It's 1/80th the price. Does that make sense? No, guys. No. I wonder if gold was, silver would be like $280 an ounce if it was priced proportionately to how it comes out of the ground. How do you like the sound of $280 silver? Here's my question. Let's have a little fun. Mag Silver. Yeah, I owned Mag Silver 3 or 4 years ago. Good company. I used to talk to their investor service rep. Good deal. Mexico. That's another thing about silver. 25% of the world's silver comes from Mexico. And I'm telling you, they're becoming a big pain in the coconuts when it comes to mining. Okay, any company will tell you that's mining in Mexico right now, it used to be a great place to build mines, to operate mines. It's now become a big pain in the coconuts. I don't know why I like to say that, but I do. Now, that is curtailing the production of silver. That is constricting the production of silver, right? Now, I want to talk about, help me remember, what are some, I was thinking about this earlier today. I know because I was looking at my silver and I was like, you know what, silver, it's the most reflective metal on the face of the earth. The most reflective metal on the planet, right? That's key because that makes it good for solar panels. It's also the most conductive of electricity. The scale that measures electric connectivity is based upon silver. And then I was trying to think, what are the other, I'm going to make a list, and I want you guys to help me. So, electric connectivity. Number one, it's also the most reflective. What other attributes does silver have? I'm going to walk away, and when I come back, I want you to tell the bear right now, what are the other key attributes? What am I forgetting? I know there's other things about silver that are attributes. All right, I'm back. Did that bear say anything? I want to see if you help me. Come on. It gets real hot and, oh, antibacterial. Thank you, MX old timer. Brap. I'm sure there's a meaning behind that. Antibacterial or antimicrobial is another way to say that. Gets real hot in the sun. You mean electrical conductivity? Yes. Most Brits, my crew grands, medicinal. Yes, it does have medicinal qualities. Thank you. What else can we say about silver? Huh? Until it tarnishes. Silver is antimicrobial. Did you hit? No, I didn't hit the bell. I'm going to do the nose thing. Okay. Let's get back here because we're trying to get the list. Now, did anybody say it? I thought of something. Yes, Jim Tillypow said it. Thermal. Fast Landing said it. The heat transfer. Yes. What do they call that? There's a word, conductivity. Darn it. I knew the word. I'll just say temperature conductivity. So if you take an ice cube and put it on a silver bar, you'll be amazed at how fast it melts. It's crazy. Especially if you're outside, because it conducts the temperature from outside, whatever temperature it's in. Like if it's 100 degrees outside, it immediately conducts that to the ice. It's really cool. Thermo, yes, it's money. Good point. All right, I'm going to run through the list here at the end. Thank you. Jewelry. That's another thing, right? So it's beautiful. I mean, that's an attribute. Jewelry. I'm going to get myself one of those big giant silver chains that I can start wearing, you know, like a gangster chain. Gold is jewelry. Silver causes silver fever. Good one there, my friend. Imagger, awesome. Solar panels. Yes. That's going to be under reflective. Used electrical and batteries. Yeah, you know, I think batteries that probably falls under, but oh, here's one. And I heard that guy, the economic ninja, say this, and I've heard it, other people say it as well. There are more patents that include silver than any other metal. You know, I don't know. Cool, more Ron. Acoustical resonance. I don't know about that. Ductile. Yes, ductile meaning, if I got this correctly, it can be formed easily. It can be hammered. It can be, you know, spread out. I know gold's the most ductile of all metals. It's an investment. Yeah, it is. It's a store of value, right? It is money, but it's also, man, we got a big one. I might just make a video about this tomorrow morning. You guys are awesome. Wow. Kills werewolves. Best antenna material. Wow. Medical equipment. Defeats inflation. That's going to go under store of value. Nanotech applications. Kills vampires. Oh my gosh. Grandma's silverware. Yes, that's goes under the antimicrobial. That's where this term for wealthy children being born with a silver spoon in their mouth came from, because wealthy people back in the medieval times will be the only ones who could afford silver utensils, and they used silver utensils because the silver killed the germs on the food. Very interesting. Dental. Yes, you know what? That's a very good point. Loads into the Lone Ranger's gun. Water purification. Very interesting. Wow, I'm running out of room. Let me go get another thing. Another thing. Maybe the bear can come up with something. How about Smitty, the $85 an ounce bear? All right. Got more. You guys ran me out of room on my other post-it note. Dental work means it helps vampires. Reactive. Silvadine burn cream. That would be medical. Wow. Thank you, guys. Add silver to computers inside PC. That's going to be under electronics. So let me read through this list real quick. In my stack. And thank you guys, all of you that gave me super chats tonight. Super appreciated. Not expected, okay, but a nice surprise, and it does help support our little family here in St. Louis, so thank you so much. We got electrical connectivity. It's the most electric. Reflective, most reflective metal. Antibacterial, antimicrobial. Can be used in medical equipment. It's also the most thermally conductive. That's what I was trying to say. I said temperature conductive. It's called thermal conductivity. Transfers heat or cold like nothing else. It can be used for money. It can be used in jewelry. It's beautiful. Used in batteries. It's very ductile. It's a store of value. It can be used in dental, and it can be used in water purification. Photography too. Yeah, old school photography. That's another one. I mean, that was a big use of silver for years. But, you know, that could come back, kind of like the way vinyl. I think this year they said more vinyl records were sold than CDs, music CDs. So crazy, crazy, crazy. Thank you guys for being here. You are the best. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I'm going to see you soon. Thank you.